In this video, back to cars with a Vauxhall Insignia. But which Vauxhall Insignia? Roll the cameras. Okay folks, here we have a Vauxhall Insignia. Not just any old Vauxhall Insignia. This is the VXR Insignia. The top line Insignia that took over from the Vectra VXR and the Signum VXR. 20-inch wheels which are immaculate. Immaculate paintwork. Side skirts. And here we are. Let's go and have a look inside, shall we? If you remember, guys, James May of Top Gear in 2009 did a road test on one of these. So here I have the interior. I've always loved the interior of the Insignia. Not just the VXR version, but just any Insignia, because I think they did such a good job of the design of this car. I think in my opinion, I think it's better than the Vectra. So when you turn the ignition on and you put VXR button on, which is that one, the clocks go red. So there you go, clocks go red on VXR. Turn it off again. Let's go in the back and see what it's like. An interior light, dark roof lining, very BMW and Audi-esque. Really is a nice interior. I know a lot of people go on about Vauxhall saying they're just a bit bland, grey, but this is not the case with the Insignia. It really is a nice car. The only thing I'd say was the rear headroom is a bit low. It's a bit low, isn't it? Let's go and have a look in the boot. Guys, the Insignia VXR is booted. It's not a hatchback. There's quite a bit of space in here as well to keep your golf clubs and your sports bags. It's got a rear liner in here, removable, so you can protect your carpets. And you got some little neck compartment to put bits and bobs, your first aid kit. Right then, let's see what this car sounds like. Wow, nice one. Here comes Gary Marshall, the owner of the car. I daren't drive this thing. So we have with us here Mr. Gary Marshall. He owns this beautiful beast. So Gary, would you like to go for a drive for us?
Yeah, go on.
At the end of the road, turn right.
Driving test.
Go on, hoof it. Whoa! Bloody heck!
Slow down for the residential.
So Gary, how long have you had this darling beast?
I'd say about a year and a half now.
And why did you buy one?
Well, I previously had a CDTI EcoFlex diesel Insignia, and that car was really reliable, never had any problems at all with it, and I had that for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I've always loved, you know, the look of the Insignias, and I thought, well, I'll sort of go to the next best thing with them, which is the VXR, being the top of the range.
And what would you say is basically the bits? What's your favourite bits about the car? What do you like about it?
Styling, the way it looks, you know, performance. Mine's not standard. It's got a map on it, stage 1 map, so it's running about 380 horsepower. Wow. 500 newton meters of torque. So it does go when you want it to.
And what work have you had to do in it, Gary, to keep it in this fine fettle?
Well, when I first got it, to be honest, the paintwork was in really good condition. It had actually been in a body shop, and I think somebody must have had the whole car done. Well, bits and bobs here and there, but most panels. But this era of Vauxhall, like I say, this is a 2010 car, it's actually a 59 plate, are really bad for rust underneath. Like subframes are just horrendous, looks like it's come off a Titanic, whereas that all needed addressing, like taking back to bare metal in areas and then hammerwriting, and the whole bottom of the car's been done like that, under the wheel arches, everything. So yeah, it's been looked after, which you need to do really.
And if I was to buy a Vauxhall Insignia, or any Vauxhall Insignia, be this one, the VXR, or any of the lower models, what would you recommend me to look out for? What would you recommend my viewers to look out for if buy any Insignia?
Well, that being one of the first things as well, not the first thing, but definitely part of it is, like I say, check out underneath, particularly the VXRs. They're more exposed than the diesels. The diesels have got a lot of plastic trims underneath, which does protect, but again, the subframes are really bad. What else is? Just, yeah, service history, obviously. Any full service history with these cars is paramount. You've got to have it. Particularly like the Haldex, make sure that's been serviced as well. That's like part of the 4-wheel drive system.
Can you tell us how what is the Haldex? Tell us what a Haldex is and how does that work in comparison to a normal 4-wheel drive system?
Well, it's like a sort of like a torque converter. It's like when you put the power down, it sort of distributes the power to the back or the front.
Okay.
Got a fly on the steering wheel. I don't know.
He's Johnny in the video.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe it's like a Saab derived bit of technology.
Yes, I'd heard that as well.
And it isn't actually just in the VXR. They do the 2.8 in other Insignias. I believe they're doing Elite with the 2.8, but it's detuned compared to the VXR.
Yeah.
That has the Haldex in because they do the 4-wheel drive in other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really sort of crucial that they've been maintained, because they are one of the sort of like things that people look out for with these cars. It's like the poisonous word almost, Haldex, and and these are like the Gen 4 versions as well, whereas I'm finding nobody will work on them at all. It's just one of those things. Even so-called hydraulic specialists won't touch them.
Right, okay.
Well, that's in this area anyway.
So, not seeing many VXRs around, would you sort of like, would you recommend a VXR to anybody? Say for example somebody wanted a BMW or an Audi of the same size, how would you talk them away from those two cars? Is there anything that you could actually recommend?
Yeah, I think, again, depending what particular Audi engine wise or BMW, you know, this definitely keeps up with the higher end 3 litre models, because they were sort of aimed around the same area. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend one. Like I say, as long as it's been maintained and looked after.
Yeah.
There obviously are some dogs out there.
Yeah.
What was the other part of the question?
So, I suppose really Vauxhall don't have the same cachet, do they? The same status as BMW.
No, definitely.
But what is good about these cars is A, well, they look good. And secondly, they're a more of a value, if you know what I mean. A BMW will cost more money.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Although BMWs have the status,
Yeah.
if you couldn't afford a BMW, you still wanted this size of engine, then why not go for one of these?
Yeah, and another thing to add to that, you've just got such an unseen rare car. There's just not that many of these around. There were never really that many to start with.
No.
Depending obviously which style you want to go for, because you can get, this is a saloon, do the hatchback, and they do an estate.
Yeah.
You know, they're sort of covering all areas.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, the rareness is definitely an appealing part of it. People do often say you don't see them, do you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
a lot of that.
before I saw this one that we're in today, I hadn't seen a VXR probably before, to be honest.
No, I mean, since I've owned this, I've not seen any.
And that's basically because I suppose people are a bit snobbish, aren't they? They're kind of, well, if I'm going to buy something that's 3 litre and you know, got all that, I'm going to go for a 5 Series or a 3 Series M Sport or something like that. You know, there's no status in buying a Vauxhall type of thing, you know. But to be honest with you, I think these, because of their rarity, I think there's something different. And if you want something different, then I think I'd be going for this, to be honest with you. So we'll do in a minute we'll do a 0 to 60, Gaz.
If you can get one out of it, yeah.
And we'll talk more and show around the engine bay. 0 to 60 in the VXR. Gary, take it away. Hey guys, so this is the engine of the VXR, and our mate Gary's going to start it up for you. How many brake horsepower is this, guys?
380.
It's quite...
Some is about 320.
It's quite some power, isn't it? But these modern cars, there's just, you don't see anything, do you? You just see plastic.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can see of it.
It's not like an old Cortina where you can see, you know, straight through to it far.
That's right, yeah. I mean, you can see the beacon configuration there on the plastic, and that's the only indication apart from the sound. You can't see anything on it. Yeah.
See, I've took that off and resprayed it in heat paint. Like I say, these engines are so ridiculously hot up to temperature.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the causes of why the headlights are really prone for going. The seals go.
Yeah.
I mean, some people unscrew these and just leave them open to get rid of the condensation because they're really bad for that. This side more so than that side. I think it's because the heat from the turbo is all in this area.
And how would you change it? I mean, the units aren't. There's no bulbs there. It's HID, isn't it?
Adaptive, turn where you turn.
And they're adaptive as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're quite expensive units as well. How much is one of these to replace them?
I think the last time I asked Vauxhall, it was something ridiculous, like 1,200 quid. But you can get them for about 5 or 6 online. And again, and they're made by Heller as well.
To fire him up. Yeah, gas remains. Yeah. Like sort of sodium lamps, aren't they? The street lamp. Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Welcome back, chaps. Back to me now. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'd like to thank my friend Gary Marshall for helping us out with that, and his superb VXR. Yeah, so if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, write a comment, and please subscribe if you would like more video content like this. Bye.